All right, what's good, peeps? We're back, Ade and Friends Part 3, and we've got some good ones here. I'm excited about this one because these guys know their boxing. We've got Pierre, we've got Rico, and we've got Barry. Just before we start, I just want to say that I am getting everyone's emails. I know so many people are emailing me about coming on the show. Guys and girls, I will 100% respond to everyone. I do want to get everyone on. I've said that before. I am going to try and move this to twice a week. I've started to kind of do that now. So we're going to do a Saturday, Sunday, and we're probably going to do a Wednesday, Thursday, just so I can get as many people on as possible because I want to hear everyone's views. I'm tired of talking to the same fucking camera myself for 2 years. It'd be nice to get people's views about stuff. So I want to say thank you to Pierre for joining. I want to say thank you to Rico. Rico, quick one. Have you started your YouTube boxing channel or are you still slacking?
I'm still slacking. I'm not going to lie. I'm still slacking. I've got the logo made and everything now. So I've got that done. So I was going to try to say, after this, can I store this video? As the first.
No, you cannot. Yeah, we need new content from you, my friend, first. But no, honestly, Rico, shout out to you for even trying to start a YouTube channel. I know it's difficult to get going. The hardest thing is to get going, trust me. Once you do like your first 1 or 2 videos, you'll get into a role and you'll crack on, no doubt. All right, talking about cracking on, let's crack on here. I want to talk pay-per-view price. The thing that everyone, obviously upsets everyone. Everyone's nervous about pay-per-view prices nowadays. A lot of people heard recently that there was a rumor going around that AJ Fury could be 50 quid. Eddie Hearn said, no, that's rubbish. But he has talked about another increase to the pay-per-view model right now to 30 quid. We were used to it being 20 quid over here in the UK. It went to $24.95 for AJ Ruiz and Wilder Fury. And now we're talking about another increase to 30 quid. Again, compared to America, that's still relatively cheap. But are they pushing the boundaries? Barry, I'm going to start with you. Are they taking the piss for 30 quid or can you understand it for some of the big fights?
I think it has to be, I think in America, it's reflective on the card, isn't it? Generally, a lot of the time, the more expensive ones have got your elite fighters, like your Canelos and things. And then if they plonk something a little bit sort of mid to sort of borderline world champion, then it's sort of like $49.99 or $59.99 or something like that. So I think it has to be reflective on the card. There's no getting away with it. There's no getting away from it whatsoever. It's going to be happening. It's the only way these fighters are going to get paid the money that they want to get paid. So I think the sooner we all come to terms with that and just start saving our shekels, the better, really, because it's the only way we're going to get the big fights, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think £50 is probably, it's probably it's borderline taking the piss, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I don't mind paying £20. £25 is fine. I don't mind it at all. But then if you weigh in the other your other bits and bobs that you're paying each month as well, you might buy a UFC card as well. You might buy something. You might stream something legally that might cost you £10 to stream it. It does add up. It's starting to add up a lot actually. So let's see what happens. But yeah, he's taking piss.
Rico, Barry said there, in America, the model is basically depends upon what fight card is going to happen, right? He's right. If it's Wilder Fury, it's going to be a lot of money. If it's a mid-tier guy, you might get it for 60 quid, kind of what they do in the UFC right now as well. Would you pay £30 and be happy to pay £30 for AJ Fury?
No, more than happy, to be honest, because I think obviously that's the biggest fight in boxing right now. So £30 is basically like you're thinking in your head, all right, only £30, biggest fight in boxing, you can't complain. But when it's getting to like £80, £100, like American prices are like, whoa, like, is it really up £100? Like, that's like that £100 buy a food shopping in your house. So you're thinking,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Pierre, what about you, Pierre? Again, we heard the rumors of 50 quid for AJ Fury.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be very honest with you. If you told me in order to make AJ Fury now, I have to lump up 50 quid for it to happen, 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
Take my 50 quid. Like, I'll be honest with you, take my 50 quid. I spend 150 quid on a night out. Take the 50 and then we just watch AJ Fury. But I can understand how some people are like, no, because once it gets to 50 quid, then we're going to stay at 50 quid for literally everything. Pierre, would you pay 50 quid, Pierre, for AJ Fury?
Yeah, probably, because it's one of the biggest fights, and especially British-wise. I mean, two heavyweight champions probably never happened, right? I would probably pay 50 quid, but I have questions, right? Is it still going to be with this COVID thing. So are they making any money with the entries? Probably. They're probably going to go, if they have to do it, they're probably going to go outside of the UK. But okay, if they go outside of the UK, they go, let's say, to Saudi. Honestly, Saudi is probably giving them enough money to pay the fighters. Do they really need to increase the pay-per-view? That's my question, right? So it's probably, yeah. If it's 50, they're probably taking a piss. Because, yeah, I think if they go to Saudi or places like this, I think there was a Macau as well in China. They were talking about this. They will probably align a lot of money for them just to come, right? Just to come. So, yeah, 30, I think is all right. 30, I would definitely pay. 50, yeah, it's borderline. Yeah, robbery. Not robbery, but...
Addy, the problem you've got is it sets precedent, doesn't it? You know what I mean? As soon as everybody pays it once, because everybody would pay it for Wilder and Fury, or Joshua and Fury, no problem at all. But it sets precedent, and then all of a sudden they've got it for Callum Smith against Caleb Plant. Do you know what I mean? And people are finding themselves just automatically paying it.
Yeah,
do you know
true.
It's the same as everything in this country. It sets precedents. Once it's done once, it's just so much easier to apologise afterwards. Do you know what I mean? So.
I feel like we're all talking about this fight and look, we're all excited about it. I can hear in everyone's voices. Does anyone truly believe this fight's actually going to happen? Am I the only one that's like, summer 2021? It just sounds so far away. It doesn't even feel like it's going to happen. There's so many hurdles now. We've got the Usyk.
So many pieces, right, moving.
Yeah, we've got the Dillian White hurdle as well now. Dillian White looks like he might get his shot before AJ. We'll talk about that in a minute. Rico, do you think this fight is actually even going to happen, or are we just hyping something that's not even going to happen?
I'm the same like you, because I'm in doubt, because like they've agreed terms, but nothing's been set in stone. So until I hear the date and the venue and anything else, then I'll probably have more hope for myself. Like, because they could say agreed terms, but you got like mandatory, you got Pulev, you got Usyk, you got White waiting in the like waiting line. So it's either they're gonna drop the titles and have a fight for this and fight state for British boxing for Fury versus Joshua, or they're going to have to like wait for all the mandatories to get done. So I don't know which one's going to happen first.
What about you, Ben? What do you think? Think it happens?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think we have to wait and see, really, don't we? There's far too much ahead of them to do. I mean, Dillian White. No one wants to fight Dillian White. Let's be honest. No one. No one wants to fight Dillian White, and for a good reason as well, because that left hook to the body is gonna break a few ribs. I think it's the punch that knocks Wilder clean out. Relatively speaking, he'll put him on the deck with that left hook, and no one wants to fight Dillian White, and I think he's the one that's he's gonna come out somewhere along the line. You know, the waiting that he's done has been 2 years.
Yep.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I've never heard of anything like it. Never, ever. So I think karma will definitely play a part in this one, and I think he's going to end up champion somewhere along the line. So, and it could be to the detriment of Anthony Joshua or someone like that. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think it happens.
Pierre, Eddie Hearn came out this week, I think, and done an interview with IFL TV where he said, you know what, Dillian White will get his shot, and in fact, he even said Dillian White will get his shot above AJ, saying that, no matter what happens, it's the mandatory first, and then it's AJ Fury. Do you believe that? Do you believe that will happen? Can you see Dillian White getting there before AJ?
There might be a way, right? If Fury vacates or gets elevated, maybe there's a way. It's very complicated, right? They signed these two fight deal, but what's in it? Do they need to have the belts to fight? If they lose the belts at some point, can they still fight? Will they still fight? I think you said it in a previous video as well. I think that I'm not sure Tyson Fury cares about the belts. Technically, he's still the lineal champion, so technically he still has all the belts. So maybe he won't care. Maybe he will actually reject the elevation, whatever thing, and maybe he will just say, okay, AJ, bring it on. Maybe he will just not fight White.
Yeah, Rico, it's true. I mean, how much do we care about the belts? I mean, I've always said on this channel, like, look, I want to see an undisputed. It would be nice to see every single belt around someone's waist, like we've seen with Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones. Those images, Terence Crawford, it looks great, right? But do you care if there's no WBC belt and there's no IBF belt? Does it take away from it? I asked the guys this last time. They said they're kind of 50-50 with it. What's your stance?
So So wait, my stance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my stance, obviously, like I think for us hardcore fans, we want all the belts on the line. But to the casuals that are gonna watch the fight, because obviously it's gonna be a bigger fight to more of the casuals and the hardcores. Yeah. That they will see it as Joshua Fury fighting, and we're seeing it as all the belts because we want to see it undisputed champion. So in my sense, I'm thinking, yeah, I want it for all the belts myself. Me personally, I want to see it in my lifetime. I see a heavyweight title for all the belts, but to the casuals, they'll be like, oh, Fury versus Joshua, biggest fight in heavyweight boxing. Like it's nothing really major, but I don't know. I personally want to see for all the belts. To be honest, my personal opinion.
Barry, what about yourself? All the belts? Does it matter?
Well, to be honest, the only belt that sets itself to any sort of standards is the IBF anyway. It really, isn't it? If you think about it, I mean, they stick to their mandatories. They enforce mandatories. Even they'll let one unification supersede the mandatory, but they won't let two. Do you know what I mean? You fight your mandatories and you fight your and that's the way it should be, really. The WBC, I mean, I don't really particularly think the belts are worth the paper they're written on now. No, they're just some serious sanctioning fees that WBC must make with all them different marble and belts. They must be creaming it in.
Absolutely creaming it in. Absolutely.
The IBF must be thinking, hold on a minute, we're going poor here somewhere along the line. We need to sort it out. But if the IBF belt was on the line and it was only on the line, that would suffice for me, to be fair. But it is nice to have all the trinkets. Don't get me wrong. But and the TV like it, which is one of the stumbling blocks, isn't it? The networks like to have all the belts. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the WBC there and the IBF, like wondering what's going on. I can't lie to you. I have absolutely no idea who. I know who Monsieur Suleiman is, WBC. I have no idea who is the head of WBO, WBA, IBF. I literally none of. It's like Monsieur Suleiman has made the WBC famous, and the Suleimans have done it, and it's almost like they brought that belt up even higher by just aligning themselves with certain promoters and showing his face everywhere. I have no idea who's the head of the IBF. Anyone know who's the head of these other organizations?
To the detriment to their own rules, though, really, isn't it? Like they're always in the papers, the WBC, they're always on TV. But it is to the detriment of their own rules and regulations, bringing out all these belts and the franchise champion, etc., etc. It's nonsense, isn't it? It's a way for them to skirt around their mandatory, isn't it? Because the mandatory isn't worth as much money to the WBC, so they make a franchise champion, and then they can just have these faux unifications, and there's more money in those, isn't there? So,
and I think on top, sorry, go on. Yeah, and on top of that, sometimes you see Mauricio with like Canelo hats, so it's a bit like conflict of interest, right? I mean, you should be impartial, right? Not elevating him and then say, okay, do whatever you want, you still get the belt, don't worry, come back, go up, go down, still get your belt. It's just
Well, to say that as well, I think you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Like, you don't know what money Suleiman's getting behind closed doors. He can be getting all this. So
there's no doubt that he's getting bags of money underneath the table. Like, they are WBC does stand for We Be Crooks. They are getting bags of money.
They're supposed to be non-for-profit, though, aren't they? These organisations, these belts.
Non-for-profit. You must think they're UNICEF. All right, let's move on. I want to quickly talk about Billy Joe Saunders before we touch on other subjects. I just find these situations so interesting. Let's not forget, and I said this before, this is a guy that left Frank Warren because he thought he wasn't getting chances, the big fights with Frank, and Eddie was going to open those doors to get big chances. I feel like he was that close to getting a Canelo fight and might have got it before COVID-19 hit. Now he looks further away more than ever. Eddie Hearn has come out yesterday and said if it's not Canelo, he wants either Demetrius Andrade, Callum Smith, and Chris Eubank Jr. Pierre, I'm going to start with you. Of those three, which one would you say is the biggest fight or the best fight? Financially, I think it's Chris Eubank Jr. over here. I think that's the bigger fight. Massive stadium, maybe small stadium, arena definitely. Callum Smith, I guess, from a standpoint of Ring Magazine. And Demetrius Andrade was a fight that should have happened 2018, I believe, October. Which one would you go for if you were Billy Joe Saunders and Eddie?
It's hard. Maybe Chris Eubank. Well, he beat him, right? It was the first fight, right? He beat him. You beat him once. Do you beat him twice? That's the question, right? Maybe I would go with Eubank, though he's been training with Roy Jones now. Has he really changed him? Because I think he had problems. He was not listening to his coaches because he was just, all right, I'm I'm a Eubank. I do whatever the fuck I want. Oh, sorry, can I swear actually?
Well, swearing, you don't know which channel, dude. Swearing's definitely allowed.
I don't want to demonetize your video or something. So
don't worry about that.
But yeah, no, I think now that he's with Roy Jones, like an icon, right? Like a huge star. Maybe start listening to him because he has so much experience and he's such a big champion himself. So I would go with Eubank Jr. for the rematch because you can maybe market it well, right? Like the Eubank coming back and just kind of this rematch thing. So I would probably go for this. I would have preferred personally Benavidez. But...
Interesting. That's an interesting one. I feel like that's something they're swerving like the plague, if I'm honest with you. Benavidez is massive. It's too big, hits too hard.
So
just a nightmare. Just a nightmare for them. And he's not known to the UK fans as much. Definitely, obviously, known to American fans, but to the UK fans, it's almost like, who is this guy coming over that's just going to beat our guy up? Because I think he would beat him up. Barry, who would you pick out of that lot?
Well, first of all, to touch on the Canelo point, I think Billy Joe's the only person out there with a style. I'm not saying he would beat him, but he is style to beat Canelo. We saw it with Lara, Trout, similar-ish. Do you know what I mean? They all were within touching distance, weren't they, of beating Canelo? I think, Billy will give him all the trouble he needs. To be fair, in a fight, but if that doesn't happen, I think you've got to make the Callum Smith fight, haven't you? For the sake of finding out who is the best 168 on paper. I mean, I think Billy schools him. To be fair, but I don't think Callum stands. I mean, he does hit. Does he hit hard? I mean, I don't think he.
I don't think he hits that hard either. I think because he's big, we think he does.
It flatters him, doesn't it? I think his record. I mean, he was banging out to the body a load of, up and comers and journeymen on his way up, which was good. And he obviously does hit hard. If you hit someone, don't you? Whether it's a journeyman or a champion, so it doesn't really matter. But I do think it flatters him. And I think the Ryder performance was poor, man, really poor.
I don't think he won the fight.
Yeah,
I mean, Billy Joe's weren't that great either, was it? On the Jake Paul, was it Jake Paul card?
Yeah, KSI Logan Paul.
But he realised, I'm having a mare here, and then he turned it on, and just that round was just amazing. That last round, he just showed exactly what he can do. I think the Callum Smith fight, I don't think the Chris Eubank fight happens. To be honest, I just don't think Billy's bothered about it. He's just not bothered about him, is he? He doesn't seem to be making any noise whatsoever. And I think Chris will probably stay over there, won't he, for the next couple of fights? Is he signed with Al Heyman, is he?
Yeah, he is. He's signed with PBC now, So it's a tough fight to make anyway.
Yeah, the Korobov, they've got to make that fight again, haven't they, really, I think?
I think they're going to think, we got away. We're lucky. We've got a belt, some sort of belt anyway. I don't know what belt they've got. I just saw him in the ring with a belt, something. Yeah, so he's probably thinking, you know what? Got that belt, move on. Rico, Barry mentioned there Billy Joe Saunders, and a lot of people have said this, that Billy Joe Saunders' style could cause Canelo problems. I will counter that and say I've not seen anything from Billy Joe in the last couple of years, if I'm honest with you. Yeah. Since that fantastic David Lemieux performance, which was amazing, we've not seen anything. Why do we still think Billy Joe has this when we haven't seen it for so long? What is the reasoning?
I think it's because he's gypsy. No, to the gypsy community and that, no disrespect to you lot, but it's the similarity between him and Tyson Fury. Like, they turn up for big fights. Like, they don't, like, you could say Tyson Fury versus Otto William. He didn't really, like, he wasn't really into the fight, but, when it's come to, like, Wilder, Klitschko, when they have them big names, they take it really seriously. Like, they really, really take it seriously. So that's why I think everyone thinks when he fought David Lemieux, they didn't give him a chance. So he probably thought, okay, you'll give me a chance here. I'm going to show you lot something. So that's why everyone really kind of thinks Billy Joe's the real guy.
Interesting. Would you go Billy Joe Saunders versus Callum Smith as well out of that group, or would you go Andrade or Eubank Jr.?
I think obviously money wise Eubank, but I don't think Eubank I don't think he wants to fight at thing no more. I want to say no more. I don't think he wants to fight no more. I think he wants to fight at more 160. So I'm thinking that he's probably going to go for Callum Smith because he sees that last fight with John Ryder was really like he didn't even win the fight. My personal opinion, and when we talked about the fight before, he got robbed. Like John Ryder got robbed that fight. So I'm thinking myself, Chris Eubank, 160 now. Dimitri Andrade, he's not really a household name. He's not even a household name in America, to be honest. Like, so everyone don't even know him. So makes sense. Callum Smith versus Billy Joe for me.
All right, moving on from Billy Joe, I want to talk Kell Brook, the guy that I love to hate. I think a wasted talent. I say wasted talent. Like, he became world champion. Not everyone could become world champion. He's made some good money, been in some big fights. He spoke this morning about a possible fight with Thurman. With Terence Crawford. We know the issues that Terence Crawford's having. He's never going to fight those guys at PBC. He's always going to miss that boat. When I look at options for Terence Crawford, it's thin. It's very, very thin. Is Kell Brook, Barry, an interesting option? Is it a fight that makes sense? Is it a fight that we'll be interested in? If not, where do both go? I can't see where either go.
No, Kell will always be the you just kind of want to rewind back, don't you, and go, don't go to Spain, just get back in the gym. Do you know? And then
don't go Spain, don't go Golovkin, just avoid everything.
Oh, man, it could have all turned out if Chris Eubank Jr. had taken the fight, we could be different Kell Brook, couldn't we? You know, at the end of the day, he was my favourite fight when he beat Porter. He was my favourite fighter. I thought he was the back in the division. I thought he walked Porter by about 7 rounds. I couldn't give. I was trying to give Porter rounds, like he didn't. And then I just thought he was so accurate.
And it's crazy to see where Porter's gone now. Porter's been in big fights. Porter's won world titles, lost them. But again, Porter's name's right up there. And you look at Kell and it's completely different.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is. I don't know. I think over here, I don't know. Why is that? Why is Porter? Because he's got the same amount of losses, right? It's just a couple.
A couple of losses. But Porter looks like he lives the life a bit more than Kell. Let's be honest, he does.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely think that's probably one of the main contributing factors. And Eddie, you know, wanting to get that Golovkin fight made. But to your point, I think I can't see where else fight. I can't see who else he fights, to be honest. I mean, nobody else really wants to fight him, do they? Where Crawford has he's come out and said, "Yeah, I'll fight Brook." And
especially not at 147. I think at 154 there are names out there in America. Maybe not household names, but they're monsters, giants. They look like all of them look like 6'1", 6'2".
Saying that though, I think he does beat Rosario.
Gelson Rosario.
Yeah, I think he beats him. I think he beats him comfortably as well. I think
this Kell Brook, this 34-year-old.
Yeah,
34. You know, Kell looks like he's 26 still. He's actually an old guy. You know, I say old. I'm older, but relatively old in boxing.
Yeah, and he's still accurate as hell though, isn't he? Even against the last guy he fought, the ex-military guy, wasn't it? Yeah. Just accuracy is still unbelievable, and I still think that will count for something. And I think Rosario, I don't think his IQ's up to much. He's a come forward and he wants to bang it out. And I think Brook can win a title at 154. I don't know how many defenses he'll have, mind you, but because they are massive guys up there, aren't they? Especially Jared Hurd and them boys. They are just big. And Erickson Lubin as well. He's a serious fighter, that guy. So
there are some serious fighters at 154. Rico, any interest for you? Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook? Again, if not, and it looks like you're going to say no, I read your lips there. If not, what does Terence Crawford do? What does Kell Brook do?
Obviously, 5 years ago, Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford all day. Like, I would have loved to seen that. Like, but personally, I didn't think he can make 147 anymore. Like, I think he's struggling to make that weight.
Said he can make it.
He did.
He said he could make it. He said he could make it for Amir Khan, and he said he could make it for Terence Crawford.
He looked ill.
Amir Khan.
Yeah, so I don't think the fight will happen, to be honest. I think it's just quarantine talks when everyone's just bored at home trying to make fights and but obviously if it was to happen, I think he'll struggle to make the weight, and I don't think he'll last. I think he'll last the same amount of time as Amir Khan did, about 6-7 rounds. Crawford will take him out, to be honest. But I think if anything, Kell Brook's in a hard decision because, as you said before, at 154, there are monsters out there. There's a big guys, Julie Williams, Hurd, Charlo, Lubin. There's some big fighters out there where they're big guys. They're walking off with like 180, 190, making 154. So you're thinking, wow, like
you win any of them, Addy, do you reckon?
Huh? What do you say? Sorry?
Addy, do you think he can win a championship at 154 now?
No, I honestly don't. And you know me, man, I love him. I love Kell Brook, but I just feel like he's damaged good now. And those guys, not only are they big there, but a lot of them are fresh as well.
Yeah,
I mean, they're fresh. They're just I just don't see how he does it at all. If I'm honest with you, unless there's a vacant belt somewhere, then maybe. But if he's having to fight one of the champions, good luck. Good luck.
I think I'm just hanging on to yesteryear, innit? 2000.
Yeah, I think you're trying to rewind to the time when he beat up Porter and think it's the same Brook.
I just remember when he was coming up, and like everyone was like, "This guy's going to be serious, mate." And when he beat Porter, I thought, "There's no one's going to touch him. He's so that far ahead of everybody." And just his accuracy. Because then Oscar De La Hoya, didn't Eddie Hearn turn around and go, "How'd you get it?" And he went, "Well, that was easy." Like he said to him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's how good he was. And that's why I look at his career. And a lot of people want to blame Eddie Hearn for that career. I mean, you can't blame Eddie's a promoter. There's management and there's other guys behind that are advising as well. Eddie will, if you come to him and say, "Yeah, ready," he'll get you the fight. And I think for Eddie Hearn, for Kell Brook to fight the likes of Beezer and Frankie Gavin after Porter, that unforgivable. Unforgivable, and I just won't accept it. Pierre, going to you quickly. Terence Crawford, Kell Brook. Tell me you're interested.
Yeah. No, sorry. I mean, I got two issues, right? Weight and style. Weight, can you boil down? As you said, he's 34, and he's not that he's not living the life, but he walks at, I don't know, 170, 180, but not pure muscle, right?
There's quite a bit of timber around the belly. Let's be honest.
Plus, style. He's not like a pure brawler. He's not a pure boxer. I don't think he can stop Crawford, and he's not gonna outpoint him. There's no way. It's just so. Does he do the 12 rounds? Maybe, but I don't see him winning. So. Yeah,
that's a good point. I could actually see him doing the 12 rounds. He's a tough guy, and let's be honest, he's a tough guy. I mean, look, Golovkin hurt him, yes, and then we know the orbital burns with Spence. I don't think Crawford hits like that. He's accurate. He's more accurate than Spence, but he's not. No way is Crawford hitting harder than Golovkin and Errol Spence. So I think you can see him doing 12 rounds. And that will be good. I think taking a 12-round box with Terence Crawford's not bad. I just can't see him beating him.
He definitely has the power, but to stop anybody. But the thing is, Terence Crawford's never been hit, has he? So there's nothing to judge it
And we did see Terence Crawford go down. I know it wasn't ruled a knockdown, but in his last fight against, I think, Kevin Velasquez, he went down. Terence Crawford gives you a chance. It gives you a chance. Even the fight before Amir Khan Benavidez, I think it was, the guy with one leg, struggled in that fight up until the later rounds. So Crawford does give you a chance, but I almost feel like Crawford is almost like what you said about Billy Joe Saunders and Tyson Fury. I think he rises to the occasion. So I think the bigger the name there, I think Crawford will step up big time. So no one gives Kell Brook a chance here apart from Barry.
I think he'll win.
What chances, and we're moving back quickly to heavyweights here, what chance does anyone give Usyk against Joshua? I feel like that fight's going to happen now. I feel like with what Eddie Hearn said about Dillian White, I feel like Usyk-Joshua is going to happen. Does anyone give Usyk a chance?
Yeah, I do. Definitely. Usyk's a good boxer. Like, technically, he's one of the best boxers out there right now. So I do give him a big chance.
Interesting.
I think we have to wait and see how he gets hit against a proper a puncher. Like, I mean, Chisora can bang. So if they do fight, we'll see then whether he can really mix it with the heavyweights, because he seems quite small. I don't know. Is he small? He does seem small. He seems.
But then again, I saw him with the face-off of Chisora. He's taller than Chisora, but obviously he must fix that. Yeah.
Yeah, but Chisora is an absolute monster, though, isn't he? Dog that geezer. When he comes, like, when the bell rings for round one, Chisora's just going to come steaming at him, and we'll see what it's all about. It's all right fighting Chaz Witherspoon, isn't it? But you know what I mean. But Chisora is a beast, there's no doubt, and he's getting better and better and better as well. So I don't know what David Hayes feeding him, but it's doing all right, isn't it?
Pierre, I'm going to come to you with that now. What chance do you give Usyk in the heavyweight division and against Joshua?
I think he's an underdog, but I give him some chances. I think,
like percentage-wise, out of 100, like what are we talking?
30, 35.
Okay, 30, wow. That's high. That's high. 30, 35.
The only thing, I'm a huge Usyk fan, right? I watched live his performance against Bellew. Was like amazing. But I mean, does he really carry mobility, elusiveness, footwork, like head movement, and all that? And then the two biggest question: does he have the chin, right? He never was really wobbly, like in the cruiserweight division. I think he's never been really like in danger or hurt. But they are not Joshua. They are not Wilder. These guys punch, I think, so much harder, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So and then the question is, can he put a dent in them? Does he himself has the power? He's not a power puncher, right? He's the big brother of Lomachenko, right? He's gonna punch you 10 times when you punch him twice. But yeah, does this accumulate, and can he stop? Can he put dent in the bigger guys? Like Chisora, that's the question, right? He's gonna come forward. If you don't put a dent in him, he's not gonna stop. He's just gonna go forward, forward, and grind you until you stop. So can he put a dent in the big guys? Don't know. That's why 35, 30%. Because I don't know. I just don't know.
What about you, Barry? Percentage-wise, what are you giving him percentage-wise? Usyk,
yeah,
over
probably
AJ
less,
if they were to fight.
probably less than that. I would say maybe 20.
Why?
I don't. Yeah, did he carry an injury into that Witherspoon fight? Because it definitely looked like he lost a step. He definitely looked like he'd lost a step, I think.
Yeah, and again, like Pierre said as well, he's now, I think, a stone heavier. So where he was able to move and do all that fancy stuff with Bellew, can you do that a stone heavier?
Yeah. And Bellew, he did go in with completely the wrong game plan, didn't he?
Bellew tried to have a punch out with him, which was not going to work, was it?
Yeah. Silly game plan, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to pan out as well as what people think. To be fair, I don't think so. Anyway, he's a great fighter. Let's not be around the bush. He's amazing. He's in the top 3-4 cruiserweights of all time, isn't he? Really, I think. With Evander and David Hayes probably up there as well, actually. Yeah. But but I don't know. I don't think it's going to pan out as well as what the other two did. I think his age is not on his side either, and he seems to be picking up a few ankle and knee injuries and things like that. I don't know. Once they start leaning on him and that, I think it could be a bit more difficult than people are anticipating. I believe anyway.
Rico, what do you think, Rico? Is there this weird mystique about Usyk? Like when you ask a lot of people who are the top 5 or 6 heavyweights, everyone seems to say Usyk, and he's not done anything heavyweight. I mean, are we just counting the World Boxing Super Series? And there were tough fights for him in that world. Bradis was a tough fight. Everyone seems to forget that. I mean, are we just kind of counting the fact that he beat Tony Bellew? Why does Usyk get so much high praise and we've seen him do nothing, or apart from Chaz Witherspoon at heavyweight?
Boy, I think that obviously, as like the UK public, we see him smash Bellew, like obviously fairly smash Hay. So then obviously they're thinking, everyone's thinking, wow, who's this guy? Who's this guy coming out of nowhere? He smashed Bellew, obviously Bellew beat Hay. Obviously you saw what boxing series he said, he won the whole thing. He had all the belts, he's obviously coming up. He's got the skills, got the gold medals. Think about you're forgetting that as well. So you're thinking obviously he's got all the pedigree to do stuff, but is he really gonna come at heavyweight and show his real skills and power? So I don't know, man. I'm giving him about 20% myself in my head. I'm thinking, now we not answer the percentage question.
So that means Pierre went higher. Pierre went like 30, 35. You and Barry are like 20. Pierre, do you want to revise your decision of 30%? Especially when you add in the injuries, like they say.
Yeah, I think he had a shoulder injury, I think.
Which is a big one, right? Once you get those kind of rotator cuff injuries, you add in inactivity. Since the Bellew fight, which was nearly, a year and a half ago, he's only fought once. So he's fought once, which is crazy when you think about it. That's a lot of, and now we're not going to see him fight again maybe until the new year. So this guy is getting old. We're talking injuries, putting on that extra bulk, which is going to add to your injuries, and inactivity. But you're still going to give him a 30-35%, yeah?
I think he's he definitely trains, I think, with Lomachenko's father, and I think he lives the life as well. So at least that's it, right? I think he's not going wild while he's not fighting, right? He's still probably walking around. He's walking around at his heavyweight weight, right? He can't go higher, can he? So I think he's staying in shape, and I think his injury was while he was doing heavy lifting or something. So it wasn't like a fight injury, but I mean, adding all of these, still 30, because I like him. I guess.
Question then. So that was 30 to beat AJ. So by default, I'm assuming that you think he wipes the floor with Chisora.
No, I don't.
I don't know.
No, wait, stay there, Pierre. As you're thinking, Barry, you don't.
I don't think anyone's going to wipe the floor with Chisora now. to be honest. He's a
looks a bit different, doesn't he? This
dog. He's an absolute. His frame, everything about him is just mean now. He just wants to like get in there and tear people's heads off. But before, he just like you always had that little thing where he's thinking of whether he's going to have a Diet Coke or not after the fight. Before, do you know what I mean? Yeah. He was a bit of a porker before, wasn't he? He was up and down and like, but now he just looks refined, man. Hayes got him pumping, and I definitely like that combination. I don't think it's a walkover. Usyk may probably win, but if anybody thinks that he's going to come and just bang Chisora out or just without any trouble go to like 120, 108 on the score, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So.
Rico, you said no as well. You don't think it's going to be that easy for Usyk?
No, because the new Chisora, this what's it called, the War Chisora?
Yeah,
War. He's a whole new beast. Like I see him. He's the Dillian White fight. If you watch it back and watch the count of the ground, Chisora was putting on White for like at least outputting him. I'll give it about until he got like flattened out by the left hook.
Yeah,
he winning the fight hands down. He was putting on White. So
I thought he was winning.
Yeah. So if he put that White's top 4 heavyweight in the world, Chisora top 15, top 20, and a good.
Yeah, I definitely think he's top 20. I definitely there's not for me. There's not 20 heavyweights that I can say top of my head that beat Dillian White. That beat Derek Chisora. I don't think. I still think there's guys that cause him problems.
Yeah, but
just because he's not the most mobile, but in terms of actually beating him,
plus as well, he's got a good damn chin. Like I ain't really the only person I've seen like lay out Chisora is Hay and Dillian White.
And Dillian White's left hook is like as good as punches anybody's punching in the heavyweight division. I think that left hook is just mad.
Yeah. Pierre, what do you think? Chisora, Usyk?
I think, he doesn't walk through him. I think he wins, maybe just because of his. I think he's seen all the fights, right? He had so many amateur fights
against some heavyweights as well.
It's some of them even. I think it was the like half pro tournament where you fight for your country. And I think he was fighting heavyweight there. I think he fought
Joe Joyce.
No, sorry, Joe Joyce. My bad. And he beat him. So I think he's seen all the styles. Does he run for him? No. Does he win? I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's a more terrifying proposition though with that mad ass long hair though, don't you?
I just think he looks like a nutter. He looks like someone that this is all a bit of a joke to him.
Yeah, like the guy he reminds me of the guy when he had that long hair. He reminds me of the guy from Highlander. Do you remember? I think his name was Coogan as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, you take your head and you get all the power. Right, final conversation, and I want to talk about Keith Thurman if we can for a few minutes. It won't take too long because there isn't much to talk about with Keith Thurman.
Nope.
But what is going on with Keith? And I almost feel like I sometimes disrespect him as well. I've got to put a bit of respect on his name. He did have 2 belts at one time. He's only lost once, and that was to Manny Pacquiao. And I think that fight was a split decision or a very close fight regardless. He's come out and said he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao again. Obviously, he wants that money. Barry, I'm going to go to you first on this one. What next for Thurman? Will we ever see Thurman again in the ring? It sounds like someone that's got one foot out already for me.
Yeah, I think so. I think I think there's some underlying injuries that we don't know about. I think, to be fair, I mean, how long has he been out? It's like ridiculous. He spends like a year out on every injury now.
Every fight. It's like every fight takes a year to recuperate from a fight.
Yeah, that's that doesn't bode well. I don't think. If we see him in the ring again, I don't think it will. He'll be against the likes of. He won't fight Manny Pacquiao again. Surely not.
I think he just wants the paycheck.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Yeah, I think he'll come in, he'll fight a little tune-up, and then he'll be out injured again. As soon as he steps foot in the ring, any sort of exertion on his joints or his muscles or anything, and it seems to take its toll on him. I think. So I think he's a good fighter. I wasn't massively keen on him. I mean, I always thought Khan would beat him when Khan was Khan.
Yeah.
After the Devon Alexander fight, always fancied Khan to
Agreed. I don't think we put enough respect on Khan's name when he beat Louis Collazo and Devon Alexander. I think those good performances.
Alexander, they were brutal performances. They were amazing. Like Khan was on top of his game there, and I was never really that into Keith Thurman. Good fighter, world champion, but never elite. And now he seems to be further away from that top of the tree. than ever before, I think. So
Rico, I saw you kind of shake your head a bit
there when he said Amir Khan.
When he said Amir Khan, I saw you like, whoa, no way. How dare he?
No, because I personally think Keith Thurman is actually quite good. On his day, Keith Thurman's a good fighter.
Definitely.
When you go back and watch Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter, that was a good tear-up fight, man. You know, see that. And even I watched
Danny Garcia fight.
Yeah, but then I watched that one thing one time on Showtime. It had like a ring thing where it showed that Keith Thurman's like his fights, how you come up. Yeah. I saw that, and I saw Keith Thurman. He's had a couple of good fights. He beat Guerrero, I think.
Yep.
He beat Garcia. He beat Porter.
Yeah.
He beat obviously a couple of the American.
Beat Louis Collazo. Close fight. Beat Louis Collazo. So he's had his time coming up and beat some good names.
But yeah, so when he beat Garcia, I think that was a time where he should have fought Spence.
Yeah.
That time there, he kind of went under the radar. He beat Garcia. He won both belts. Then he obviously relinquished the belt. He was injured. Then he fought Lopez. Then he fought obviously Manny Pacquiao. When I thought you beat Pacquiao, because every time, even Broner, obviously when Pacquiao faced Broner, I don't know why in my head I'm thinking Pacquiao's son. He's 40-something years old.
Pacquiao, but Pac-Man is on the good stuff though. He's on the good stuff.
Yeah. He's on something. He's on something, bro.
Because he's beating up these young kids like they were 40 years old as well. He's on the good stuff.
Dominic Ingles playing an advisory role in his corner, I reckon.
I think he's on the Louis Vuitton and Gucci of the best stuff.
The best stuff.
It's in the water. It's in the water.
Yeah. So man, definitely. Yeah. So obviously, saying about Thurman, obviously, I think it's time to kind of over, to be honest. Injuries have done him for you, to be honest. Like Thurman 2 years ago when he fought like Danny Garcia, that was a good fight when he was good and accurate, but I think he's still.
He only ever squeaked past them though.
This is the thing. It was never. That's the thing as well. That's why I think we maybe didn't show a lot of respect, because both fights against those two elite guys as well were very, very close. And that's why people never looked at him as like, you're definitely number one. It was almost like, you can fight again and lose. It was that close. So maybe that's why we don't have the respect. Pierre, he's only 31. I think he's only 31. I don't know his record off head, but I'm sure he's only had, it's less than 30 fights that way. So I do think, like, why are the injuries? It's not like he's a veteran. He's not 35, 36. Is he just fell out of love with boxing? And let's be honest, I mean, it's a tough sport. You can fall out of love with it. Making weight must be hard. Being away from your family when you've got camps must be hard. I mean, surely us as fans have got to look at that as well. And maybe it's just, I'm not as into it as I was when I was coming up and broke. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I think he said it himself, actually, that what the mistake that he's been making was about weight. I think weight management was an issue that might explain the injuries as well. If you're not serious, right? I guess it must be like super hard. I'm not a boxer myself. I have no idea. Like cutting weight, it's quite big. So boiling down to. Sorry.
I feel like anyone that's tried to stay at the same weight for 15 years is an issue. Imagine your body naturally growing and you've still got to stay at that weight. I weigh, I don't know, 13.5 stone now. There's no way 15 years ago I was 13.5 stone. There's no way. So it must be difficult to always stay at the weight as well.
And it's not even natural weight, right? You have to cut so much weight just for fight, prior to fight night, and then put all the water, all the weight back in. It's crazy. Like your body is not supposed to do that, pretty much. So do that for like 10 years. He's only 31 or something, but yeah, I think he said it himself.
That's it. All right, guys. Anyone got any questions before we part ways? Anything anyone wants to chuck in? Barry, I know you've definitely got something to say.
No, just a quick one about Thurman. Do you think the Kell Brook that beat Porter beats Thurman in his prime?
Yes. Yeah. I've said it 100 times, and I know people disagree with me. I know American guys are going to watch this and say, look at him, just being British. No. I do think that Kell Brook was so accurate, so strong, so big at the weight, fresh, no injuries whatsoever. There was no orbital bones. And I think he was hungry as well. So he wasn't earning good money, was living the life. That's a different Kell Brook completely.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Porter had didn't he just knocked out Malignaggi in like 3 or 4 rounds?
Porter had beat Malignaggi. Porter had blitzed through Devin Alexander as well.
Everybody,
Porter was so blitzing them, people actually accused Porter of taking steroids. I don't know if you guys remember. They were like, Porter's juicing. Just because of the way, I think Paulie said no one's hit him as hard as that ever. Everyone was like, and Kell Brook kind of schooled him.
Yeah.
In America.
In America.
In America. Anyone else, guys? Anyone else want to?
Yeah, I've got a quick question. So, who do you think is going to go first? This is the lightweight division. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez,
Javante,
and Javante Davis.
Go up to 140. What did you say?
So, who do you think is going to go first?
I think Lopez.
Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez. Yeah, of course. Actually, 100% Lopez because he fights Loma. They're talking about him fighting Loma in, I think, November now.
So what's the chances of Lopez and Lomachenko? What?
1%.
Like
1%,
you know, a cigarette paper thin. It's like a quarter of that.
Honestly, it's like I can't even try and find something. It's like it's that thin. It's that thin. Can you see it? You can't even see it. That's how thin it is.
What is that? Is that an air molecule?
That was an air molecule. The funny thing is, I rate Lopez a lot. But that's just how high I rate Lomachenko. I think we're looking at almost like a boxing genius here. That's you know, look, the thing is about Teofimo as well. I think Teofimo's only had like 13 or 14 fights. So he's not like this experienced kid. He's coming in raw and you're playing chess with the chess master. I mean, this guy's going to show him angles and things that he's never seen before. And he's going to be like, oh my God, what's going on?
Do you think Lomachenko could take one on the chin from Lopez though? Because if Lopez catches him, it's a problem. My personal opinion, obviously, I know Lomachenko's got the skills. Because what I saw him do to his last fight,
Rich Comey.
Yeah, that was bad. Like,
yeah, but we say this like Loma can't hit. I think Loma can hit as well. Is it as hard? No, but it's accurate and it's with precision, which sometimes is better than a bigger punch. Is huge. Yeah, his ratio in terms of punches thrown to punches landed is something crazy. This guy doesn't waste punches, and his work rate is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
People go 12 rounds like it's nothing.
You don't have to hit as hard as Tyson if you're going to throw 100 shots in
this
that time.
It.
You know what I mean? So I think he's going to be. I think he needs about 5 more fights, Lopez, before he's even anywhere near ready. To be honest.
But good on him in terms of taking the fight. I mean, everyone else is doing. Everyone's doing Twitter talk. He's actually doing real talk. So it's
and he has nothing to lose. Actually, Lomachenko has everything to lose. If Teofimo loses, it's just I wasn't ready.
I got beat by the pound for pound number 2. What's the shame of it? If it wasn't for that though. Because obviously your question really was, we forgot about Lomachenko Lopez, really. I did anyway. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably say, look, I think Ryan Garcia is the worst out of them, if I'm honest with you. But I think they'll manage him properly so he doesn't get the guys in which to fight.
He'll never fight Linares next.
Yeah, he'll never fight Linares. He'll never fight a top 10 guy. So I think he could keep his O for so long just because I don't think they're going to roll the dice with him for a while because he's the cash cow. So I think he's probably the furthest away from losing his O, but not because he's the best, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Pierre, anything you want to chuck in, Pierre?
No, well, I maybe wanted to talk about the Lomachenko Lopez, but we did.
It's a good fight. It's a very good fight.
I can't wait. I can't wait. But I was thinking as well that might be Teofimo's last fight at 135 as well.
Yeah, true.
Like time is running out for him. So huge already. It's just,
he is big, and as he's like you say, he's only 22. I think just turned 22.
Yeah, 22.
So he's gonna grow. He'll go to 147 as well eventually. These guys probably walk around at 160, 165.
Yeah.
So he could easily do it.
Just quickly, Ade, just before you go, how do you think Josh Taylor does at 147?
Yeah, sorry, we're supposed to talk about that.
Tough. I think he's amazing. I think he's amazing.
I think he's amazing as well. But I guess what we're doing, we're trying to compare him to the top guys at 147. So we're not looking at anyone outside the top 10. We're looking at him versus Danny, versus Sean, Keith, all those guys. And those guys bring a lot to the table in terms of experience, you know. Do
you think he's a lot smaller? Do you think he's a lot? He seems smaller.
I don't think he is. I think
he's tall. He's tall, actually.
Slender.
Slim, yeah, he's
It's almost like Luke Campbell is very skinny, but I think he'll put on the muscle correctly.
Yeah.
It's going to be good fights, right? I'd like to see him against someone. I said on my video yesterday, I'd like to see him against someone like an Adrian Broner, just to see where I think he'll beat Broner, but then I'll know where he is. And then it's a take of, then you take the next step to maybe a Danny Garcia. I think I like sort of Errol Spence and Terrence. It's too much.
How's Broner going to beat a guy with the heart of Josh Taylor? As soon as he realises he ain't going to knock him out, he's going to fold, isn't he, Broner? Without a doubt.
Yeah, Broner will fold because Broner will think, you know what, I'm getting the same check regardless. I think that's what Broner walks into the ring thinking, I'm getting 5 million win or 5 million lose. And if it comes to having to dig deep, like awfully deep, he's thinking, what's the point? Getting 5 million. Like, I've lost my own now. It doesn't matter as much. I think that was quite a good thing for Broner. He's lost the O, and now that's why we see Broner in against Mikey and Porter and Manny Pacquiao. I don't think he would have taken those fights if he still had his O intact. So maybe it's a good thing that he lost.
Yeah. Like Lopez, it would be a good thing. I think the O going for Teofimo would be a good thing as well. You know, you need to look at it.
If Teofimo shocks Lomachenko, then fuck.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
If he does that, then all bets are off. If he does that, then these guys in the top 10 pound for pound. He'll be literally the undisputed at 135.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he might. If he beats him, I think he might stay at 135 because then there's big money fights.
Yeah,
big money fights at 135.
But eventually, I think eventually they will all go up to 140. Even Campbell, if he doesn't get the fight, he could make 140. You look at Haney. I mean, he could go up to 154 almost. He has the frame. Haney, he's like skinny right now. But Garcia as well. Garcia, I could see him like he's super skinny now, but
they're going to fight Luke Campbell, Devin Haney.
There's someone in between.
I think they're fighting. I think he's fighting. I think he's fighting Haney next.
Cool.
Like now, I think Haney. It was supposed to fight. I can't remember who Luke Campbell was supposed to fight. But Devin Haney did put on his Twitter page that he has a huge fight announced at 135 against a top man. And I think it's Luke Campbell. And I think they're going to fight for the world title, the WBC belt. And I think that makes sense. And I am not sleeping on Luke Campbell at all. I've seen Luke Campbell in there now against Linares. I've seen him in there against Vasil. And he's done well in both fights. I've not seen Haney against anyone.
He'd beat Linares. If he fought Linares again, I'd fancy Luke Campbell.
Yeah, I think he'll beat him now.
Yeah.
So long in his arms, like
it caused Loma massive problems. Loma didn't know what to do. That the reach was too big, and that's something that Teofimo doesn't have. Teofimo don't have that reach, right? So Teofimo's going to have to get close, and I think by getting close, you're in that danger zone. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I don't know. I think we've gone past an hour. That shit happens, right? I mean, we talk. We're going to get everyone on again. You guys have seen the fucking list of people that want to come on. But I mean, it'd be good to get you all again. Thank you so much for your insights. Thank you so much for not agreeing with me, for disagreeing with each other. And peace, people.
Peace.
Thanks a lot, Adi.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you soon. Cheers.